We're at Cable Airport in Upland, California, and today we're cooking the most manly of all food, pork ribs. I love pork ribs. Let's go! So the last thing you're going to want to do is make a trip down to Kroger's to pick up something that you forgot. If that happens, all you're going to do is you're going to make people hangry. Hangry? Well, that's hungry and angry at the same time. You get enough of that at home. You don't want that on your barbecue. But fortunately, you've got me as your pilot, and I've already made a checklist for you to follow. Go to our website, FromThePitBBQ.com, and you can download the same checklist that I use. Pack up everything you're going to need. Put them in 2 containers, one that has all your wet goods, one that has all your dry goods. Because the last thing you want to do is walk up to your spouse and say, "Honey, where's my garlic salt? You're the grill master, take charge, these are pork ribs." You guys know I usually have my big Santa Maria pit I'm cooking out of, but today I thought I'd bring something that you probably have, which is one of these Weber kettles. And you know, it's not always about the size, if you know what I mean. And of course we have our chimney to start the charcoal, and today we're going to use the Best of the West 100% mesquite charcoal. It always leaves a great flavor on the meat. Let's go! So one of the things about this charcoal is it tends to spark a lot, so it's a good idea to light your paper down inside of the grill. That'll keep the sparks from blowing around so much. So I did a search, and guess what I found out? There's over 2 million different hits on ways to cook pork. Everything from putting it into the oven to boiling it. Boiling ribs, really? That's not the way men eat ribs. No, we eat it like lions eat zebras. You want to get that rib, that bone, and pull that meat off with your teeth. That's the way you're supposed to do it. And barbecue sauce, now that's for the kids. What we're doing here is we're going to do a dry rub. So before we came out here, I trimmed our ribs into the St. Louis cut. As you can see, I cut off that little skirt piece. We squared it up into a rectangle, and I peeled off the silver skin. So it's time to spice it up. Now today we're using Susie Q's Santa Maria Valley style seasoning. This is great stuff, believe me. So let's just spread it on evenly. Give it a little rub in there. Next up, I like to add some fresh ground pepper. Nice and even all the way across your ribs. If you're like me, you like a lot of pepper on your ribs. Turn it over, do it again. And one of the nice things here is I spice it up. Your ribs are going to start getting a little bit more warmer. We do want to cook them not cold, closer to outside temperature. So we got our ribs all spiced up, and we've got our coals burning in our kettle. Those coals will be ready to go when they're nice and white hot. Seems like we got a couple extra minutes. Time to crack open a cold one, I think. So we dumped out our coals, and you can see they're getting kind of white here. And we're going to spread them out kind of evenly around the bottom of the kettle. But how do you know when it's time to cook? Well, the coals will be nice and white. You can hold your hand over the flames, you know, a couple of seconds. But I'll tell you what, if you burn your hand while you're doing that, don't say ow or something like that. You know, nobody wants to hear you complaining. Just show your friends you burnt your hand so they could have a nice dinner. Okay, so this isn't the most manly portion of barbecuing. I'm gonna put a little bit of olive oil on this towel here. I'm gonna wipe it on top of the grill. That'll help keep your ribs from sticking to the top of the grill. Okay, we've got good heat. Time to throw the ribs on. Let's put them on bone side down first. One of the challenges you have with a kettle like this is everybody wants to cook low and slow, and you just don't have that control, so you really have to pay attention to the temperature of your coals beneath. Yes, 13, I understand. Betty Oiskin's on the loose, and the Spies Union contract is up for renegotiation. Look, I do know it's hot in there. Hey, maybe next time you'll get a FedEx box. I understand they're a little cooler. Sorry about that, 13. Say, you know, every chef has a secret, and well, I'm no exception. And courtesy of Agent Bruce from Santa Maria, I'm gonna let you, Siegfried, and everybody else know what it is. It's this. Kiko, man. Soy sauce. So get yourself a little squirt bottle and fill it up with soy sauce. Add it to your barbecue and give it a shot. Heat your spare ribs on both sides. It makes the meat taste great with a little more manly saltiness. and it makes a nice color on the meat as well. You know what? Just a little will do. We're not making Chinese food here. Got to get back to control. Feng's waiting for his ribs. So if you're using a thermometer to figure out whether or not these are done, we're looking for about 180. Looks like we're getting pretty close to being done here. Another cool way to tell whether or not your ribs are done, you stick your tongs in about a third way, give it a little twist. If it starts to open up and break like that, you're pretty close to being ready. You guys ready? Look what we got here. Pork spare ribs, man style. These are terrific. Pull them off. Use yourself a good sharp knife. Slice them down the bone. Oh yeah, these are perfect. Grab yourself a spare rib. Grab yourself a Firestone 805. This is beautiful. Ding dong. Eat like a lion. I'll see you next time from the pit.